G'day guys, I'm AT5 here and today I'll be reviewing The Last of Us PS4 Remastered Edition. So The Last of Us is a third-person action-adventure survival horror game which is developed by Naughty Dog. It was released back in 2013 as a PlayStation 3 exclusive title, and now over a year later a remastered PlayStation 4 edition has been released with improved visuals, frame rate, and contains the multiplayer map packs and additional single-player adventure left behind, all on the same disc. And this game tells the story of Joel and Ellie and their incredible journey across a dangerous but beautiful post-apocalyptic United States. The world is overrun by this unique infection that is called the cordyceps fungus, which is actually a real thing, but in real life it only affects insects. So this game is like a what-if for this fungus, and the result is original and terrifying. So Joel is in his 40s and he's been dealing with this post-apocalyptic state for 20 years now, but Ellie is only 14 and was born during the outbreak, so we have very different characters, each with different viewpoints of the world. The government have set up these organised quarantine zones with strict rules and curfews, but it is generally the only place that is safe from the infection, but unfortunately still not free from violence. If you think about it, Joel is kind of like Danny Glover from the Lethal Weapon series, where he's just too old for this crap, but unfortunately is tasked with escorting Ellie out of the quarantine zone to a resistance group called the Fireflies. Troy Baker is the voice actor for Joel, and man, he is one hell of a voice actor. He's pretty much become the new Nolan North and has even played the lead role in Bioshock Infinite. In fact, all of the voice work in The Last of Us is absolutely brilliant, and they have a brilliant script to work with as well. Also noting that the music score in this game is spot on with no wrong note at all. So at first glance, Joel does not want to do this job. In fact, the pair don't even like each other, but of course throughout the duration of the game, a bond starts to form, with Joel becoming somewhat of a father figure to Ellie. This is of course a dumbed down basic version of the plot, as there is so much that happens throughout this 10+ hour journey you're about to take on, meeting all sorts of interesting characters, but I don't want to talk any more about it because I don't want to spoil a single thing if you've surprisingly never happened to have played this game yet. If you've happened to have played Naughty Dog's other offering, the Uncharted series, then you're going to see the same incredible level of detail that was in those games in this game. This game was already breathtakingly gorgeous when it debuted on the PlayStation 3, but this remastered PlayStation 4 version, wow, it is beautiful. This game does not look like a remastered last-gen game at all. It is so incredibly beautiful that it even stands up to some of the best-looking games on the PlayStation 4. The frame rate of the game has also been amped up on the PlayStation 4, along with these beautiful visuals. It's such a delight to the eyes playing this game at an amazing 60 frames a second. So damn smooth, and this footage you're seeing does not do this justice. You have to go out there and see the real game for yourself to realize how beautiful it looks. The amazing detail to character and enemy animations also add to the beauty of this game, with characters using a number of different animations to make them feel real and alive. Although the one thing that did bother me just a tad is that there are so many different animations for Joel, but he only has one strangling animation. I just thought it was odd considering the attention to detail that he only has one of these animations, and you will be doing this a lot during the game. It was just strange to me. So let's talk about the gameplay. The Last of Us has a detailed and in-depth combat system, and you will have to be paying full attention 100% of the time during your many encounters with bandits and the infected. The Uncharted franchise has great gunplay and is filled with epic moments, and in its later sequels contains some stealth elements to it, but I feel as even though The Last of Us doesn't really have these epic action movie set pieces, it instead perfected both the gunplay and the stealth, delivering one of the most rewarding gameplay experiences you will have in a video game. There is a heavy emphasis on stealth in this game, as you can silently take down enemies and certain infected, create distractions with broken bottles and bricks, and sneaking around feels really great as you can move swiftly throughout the environment and also utilize the game's automatic cover mode. When you walk up towards cover, Joel automatically leans against the wall, but it doesn't stick you to the wall like most games do, as you can freely move with ease to hide or protect yourself from enemies. Joel also has a listening ability, which allows him to locate movement through walls, so you are able to see where your enemies are, which makes sneaking a lot easier. But remember, this is only for the easier difficulties, otherwise you will have no such ability and will have to rely on purely sound and sight. Of course, there is a large variety of weapons, from lead pipes and baseball bats to pistols, shotguns, machine guns, and bows. The The list goes on, and there are plenty of ways to utilize each weapon for different situations. But this is a survival game, and the one thing I really love about this game is that you have to scavenge absolutely everything if you want to have enough supplies to stay alive. This is the kind of mechanic I was expecting to see in the Tomb Raider reboot, but it ended up being more of an Uncharted clone. You have to constantly search cupboards, drawers, tables, and all over the environment to find that one shotgun shell to get you through the next fight. Along with ammo, you can also find scrap parts, which can be used at upgrading tables throughout the game to upgrade a number of different stats for your weapons. You can also find pills, which are used to upgrade Joel with improved abilities such as faster healing and so on. And not only these, but you can also find scrap pieces of items that can be used to craft equipment from Molotovs and bombs to medikits and shivs. There is so much variety in the gameplay and so much loot for you to find, and you will have to because even on normal difficulty, this game will be a challenge. The enemy AI is brutal. You will usually be against a large number of enemies at once that hide behind cover and try to flank you from all directions. You will have to utilize every skill you know to survive these encounters, and you also have to make swift decisions on how you want to approach each situation. Fighting the infected, on the other hand, is a completely different story. There may only be a few different types of infected, but they are all equally as terrifying. You've got your standard infected that you can sneak around and perform silent takedowns, but if they spot you, they will full on sprint at you from all directions. Clickers are probably one of the more terrifying infected in the game, as they don't have eyes, but instead use sound to figure out where you are, and they can kill you straight away if you let one get too close to you. The infected aren't dumb either. Often you will find them running around the environment as if they are mocking you. Running from cover to cover, poking their heads out, and making all sorts of terrifying noises in the dark, and then they suddenly jump out and sprint at you. It's absolutely terrifying. So you have to be smart when you encounter these enemies, and often think outside the box on how to take them down. Can I sneak past them all? Do I have enough bullets to take them all on? And so on. So with the amazing enemy AI, I unfortunately can't say the same for the friendly AI. You will often have companions alongside you for most of the game, but often when you try sneaking around the environment, the friendly AI will do some strange things. They will often stand right in the line of sight of enemies, randomly sprint to cover, which makes so much noise that it's laughable, and also will constantly get in your way. But luckily enemies cannot spot your AI companions. This is great, but also breaks that illusion, as enemies see your companions but don't act on it, which can constantly break the incredible experience. But when it comes to combat, the friendly AI proves to be quite useful, as they often distract and throw bottles and bricks at enemies. Another feature that has been added to the PlayStation 4 version of the game is the new photo mode, which has been previously used in infamous Second Son. At any time in the game, you can click the L3 stick and instantly go into photo mode. From here, you can alter the camera angles, change the filters, contrast, brightness, field of view, and even make characters disappear. This feature should be in every game, as you can capture some really epic and beautiful moments and make them look even more fantastic to share with friends. The Last of Us also has an online multiplayer mode called Factions, and I have to say, this is one of the most original multiplayer experiences I've had lately. After you've picked out your character's hats, helmets and gestures, created a unique emblem and a few custom weapon loadouts with a huge variety of weapons, skills and special weapons, you will then be treated to a few different multiplayer modes. Supply Raid is essentially team deathmatch, as each team has 20 respawns, and the aim of the game is to kill the opposing team in any way necessary, and the team that loses all of its respawns lose the match. This is the mode I spent most of my time with, as it has a simple goal, but really complicated gameplay and tactics. The second game mode, Survivor, is where each team member has one life in each round, and the team to kill every player once is the winner of that round. The team to win 4 rounds is the winner. This mode is similar to the search and destroy modes in Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, but you only have to focus on killing the opposing team. And lastly, Interrogation, where each team have to interrogate enemies to find the location of a safe, and once located have to slowly open the safe while under fire from the enemy team. First team to open the opposing team's safe wins. This is probably the most stressful and complicated game mode, as it's essentially broken down into 2 parts, the interrogation and then the safe cracking, which makes for long, stressful matches. The multiplayer multiplayer contains most of the features found in a single player, where you can scavenge scraps from loot boxes scattered around the environment, and from there make equipment such as molotovs and bombs. You can also earn scraps from kills, assisting kills, special takedowns and so forth, which allow you to upgrade your weapons, purchase additional ammo, special weapons, and even armor for yourself. There is so much detail in these multiplayer matches, which makes for one of the most intense, suspenseful, stressful but rewarding multiplayer experiences you will ever have. Also, the single player expansion Left Behind is also on the PlayStation 4 disc, but I've already reviewed that, so I'll leave a link somewhere on screen and in the description below. So in the end, when you step out of this amazing universe and reflect back on your experience, you will realize that you have been playing one of the best video games ever made. It does almost everything absolutely flawlessly, and in the end rewards players with the most beautiful and thrilling gameplay experiences you will ever have, whether it's single player or multiplayer. It has perfect gameplay, score, audio design, level design, story, and even subtle moments of humor and light in the story. This is a display of what video games can achieve, and can in fact be good enough to stand up against some of the best movies, or even be better than films. So I can't give this game anything less than a perfect score of 10 out of 10. This is one of the most perfect video game experiences you will ever have, and I'm sure even if you watch this game, you will be as entertained as watching an amazing film. If you haven't played this game, it's an absolute must before you die, as this game has everything that I enjoy about video games. So did you guys enjoy The Last of Us on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4? What did you think of the overall experience, and did you like the PlayStation 4 version better than the PlayStation 3 version? And if there's anything you want to know about the game, leave me a comment down below and I'll go back to you. And if you like this review, remember to like me on Facebook or subscribe to me on YouTube if you want to see more. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my review of The Last of Us Remastered PlayStation 4 Edition. It was great fun, it's a fantastic game, everyone should go and play it at least once to see what it's all about. And that's pretty much it. MAT5 is out of here.